Chosen one, you just exploded someone's entire universe and completely derailed their demonic plan, and the wildest part is, you didn't even lift a finger. Somebody is in full-blown panic mode, realizing the empire they built on deception just went up in flames. You weren't supposed to survive, let alone rise higher, but your light was too pure, too steady, too unshakable. Someone from your past exists in this scenario. Someone who wanted to be with you but never got the chance. Someone who thought you were known. Someone who remembered you as leading with your heart, who trusted easily, who gave chances. The assumption existed that this person still remained. But here's where the story takes a turn. A family member pulls strings behind the scenes, someone from your own bloodline or inner circle who should have protected you. Instead, work continues against you. Why? Because obsession exists with this person from your past. Attention gets craved so badly it becomes palpable. Chasing happens, attempts to get close, attempts to matter. But no interest exists from this person from your past. They remain hung up on you. So a plan got crafted, a twisted, manipulative plan. Information started flowing to this person from your past. Ideas got planted. Suggestions arose that if control could be re-established, if your energy could be bound, proof would exist. Acceptance would follow into something bigger. Some group, some circle operating in shadows, promising protection and power. The family member knew it was a trap. The knowledge existed that failure would occur. That was the point. Both of you needed to fail. Humiliation and rejection were desired for this person from your past. Your downfall was desired too, all because jealousy couldn't be handled, inadequacy couldn't be faced, emptiness couldn't be filled. You're not who you used to be. Work has been done that exceeds comprehension. While plotting occurred, healing happened. While scheming took place, growth occurred. While attempts were made to figure out how to trap you, you became untouchable. Something else exists too. Something definitely unknown. A whole organization watches you now. You're on a radar, not because you did anything to anyone, but because your very existence threatens an operation. When people see you thriving without manipulation, healing without weaponizing pain, powerful without control, questions arise about everything previously taught. Someone from your past went seeking advice. Someone thought to be wise got consulted. Someone experienced in spiritual warfare. Someone who understood energy manipulation. The question got asked, how can control be re-established? How can binding occur? How can possession happen? You know what got said. Walk away. Don't do this. Healing has occurred in ways beyond understanding. The heart stands fortified. The spirit holds protection. No touch will be possible. If attempts happen, backfire will occur, so hard that recovery won't be possible. But listening didn't happen, because desperate people never listen to wisdom. A second opinion got sought, and another. Looking continued for someone who would say what was wanted. Looking continued for someone who would give the spell, the ritual, the formula that would work. Someone finally said yes. Instructions got given. Do this, then this, then this. Focus on the heart space, because vulnerability exists there. Emotional manipulation needs to happen. Dream access needs to occur. Self-doubt needs to be created. Memories of who you used to be need to resurface. Unsafe feelings need to be generated. Fear needs to be instilled. Then, once destabilization occurs, binding can happen. Cleverness was assumed. Everything got planned out. The timing, the approach, the energy work. The family member got involved without knowledge of being set up to fail. The role got played perfectly. Bad advice disguised as help got given. Sabotage from the inside happened while support seemed present. Then came the execution. Everything available got sent your way. Workings designed to attack your heart. Attempts to make you feel old familiar pain. Attempts to trigger memories. Attempts to create fear. Attempts to destabilize your peace. Attempts to infiltrate your dreams. Attempts to make you question yourself. Everything went all in, but here's what happened instead. Nothing. You might have felt something off for a moment. You might have sensed weird energy in the air. You might have had a moment where heaviness appeared. But then you did what you always do now. You cleansed, you protected, you grounded, you called in your light, and it passed, like smoke in the wind, gone. When attack energy gets sent towards someone truly protected, that energy doesn't just disappear, it has to go somewhere. When it can't penetrate the target, when it hits someone whose frequency runs too high, whose light shines too bright, whose protection stands too strong, something devastating happens. It returns to the sender with interest, compounded, amplified. Everything meant to go your way now wraps around the sender. The fear meant to be instilled in you gets felt now. The doubt meant to be created in your mind now consumes another mind. The instability meant to cause chaos in your life now destroys another life. The binding attempted on you now binds someone else. This can be felt. Something is wrong. Something closes in. Sleep doesn't come. Focus doesn't happen. Clear thinking doesn't occur. Mistakes get made. Opportunities get lost. Life unravels in real time, and deep down, knowledge exists about why. Connection exists to what got tried on you. Knowledge exists about messing with the wrong one. But it gets worse. Remember that family member who set this whole thing up. Entanglement exists there too. When spiritual work gets performed to manipulate someone, energetic cords get created. Connections form. This family member has been trying to monitor you, trying to watch your movements, trying to invade your privacy from the spiritual realm, trying to see what you're doing and where you're going. Self-binding occurred in the process. Now both sit trapped, both spiral, both sink. The family member experiences consequences too. Unraveling happens in unexpected ways. Stability gets lost. Challenges arise that can't be overcome. All because play happened with forces beyond understanding. Something else approaches, something bigger. Both can feel it building, like a storm on the horizon, like thunder in the distance, like the ground shaking before an earthquake. Attempts to ignore it happen. Going out with friends occurs. Pretending everything is fine continues. Acting like terror doesn't exist, persists, but the fear is palpable. The anxiety hangs like a cloak. Knowledge exists that something bad approaches, just not what or when, but connection exists to you, to what got tried, to the line that got crossed. If you felt called by this message, hype this video so other chosen ones like you can be reached. This wasn't luck. This wasn't just divine intervention. This wasn't angels swooping in to save you at the last minute. Yes, spiritual protection surrounds you. Yes, guides and ancestors watch over you. But the real protection came from you. You built a fortress without even realizing it. Every time healing got chosen over bitterness, a layer got added. Every time growth got chosen over stagnation, walls got reinforced. Every time love got chosen over fear, the foundation got strengthened. Every time authenticity got chosen over pretense, the frequency got raised. Your heart is the first line of defense. Attack came because you were remembered as someone who led with emotion, someone vulnerable, someone who could be manipulated through feelings. What wasn't known is that work got done, wounds got healed, pain got processed, tears got cried. Sitting in darkness happened, and emergence with light occurred. Your heart isn't weak. It's the strongest thing about you. It's both soft and impenetrable. Deep feeling still happens. Open love still flows. Genuine trust still exists. But manipulation no longer works. Control through emotion no longer functions. Destabilization by old triggers no longer occurs. Work got done to heal, and that healing created protection nobody could see. Your awareness is the second line. Instincts got developed that border on supernatural. Energy gets felt before it reaches you. Knowledge exists when something is off. Manipulation gets sensed before it fully manifests. When attempts happen to sneak past your defenses, you felt it. Maybe exact knowledge didn't exist about what was happening, but enough knowledge existed to protect yourself, to cleanse, to reinforce, to call in light. Your connection to Source is the third line. A relationship got cultivated with something greater than yourself. Learning occurred about aligning with divine will. Walking your true path became natural. Trusting the journey became instinctive. When alignment like that exists, you become untouchable. Lower energies can't exist in your space. Dissolution happens on contact, like darkness meeting light. Your self-love is the foundation everything else builds on. Learning happened about honoring yourself. Treating yourself with compassion became natural. Setting boundaries without guilt became possible. Knowing your worth became undeniable. Understanding that you're enough exactly as you are became truth. This self-love created a frequency so high that attacks couldn't reach you. Contact with that frequency caused disintegration. Getting you back wasn't the only goal. Love or obsession weren't the only motivations. Attempts were being made to join something, some group, some organization, some circle operating in shadows and promising power and protection to those who prove themselves worthy. This group sees you as a problem. Why? Because you represent everything opposed to what exists there. Authenticity, healing, light, power without manipulation. When people see you thriving, questions arise about the dark path. Wondering happens about whether another way exists. Consideration occurs about leaving, and this group can't have that. So a test got given, an initiation. Get this person under control, bind the energy, silence the voice, make smallness happen. Prove this can be done, and entry occurs. Protection will exist, resources will be available, power will be granted, safety will finally exist from whatever is being run from. Belief existed that this could be done. Easiness was assumed. After all, knowledge existed from when you were vulnerable, when you were still healing, when you were still finding yourself. No idea existed about how much transformation occurred, how much growth happened, how powerful you became. The test got failed, spectacularly, publicly within that circle. The task couldn't be completed, binding couldn't happen, touch couldn't occur. Now consequences get dealt with. Entry into the group won't happen, protection won't be received, power won't be granted. Instead, rejection gets experienced, humiliation gets felt, and something worse approaches. Because when initiation fails with groups like this, penalties exist, consequences happen. Walking away doesn't occur. Too much has been seen, too much is known, weakness got proven, and weakness doesn't get tolerated. Coming after this person now happens, not to recruit, to punish, to make an example, to show what happens when failure occurs. Understanding starts to dawn about the magnitude of the mistake. What seemed like a power move actually placed a target. Being trapped between two forces now exists, the rebound of sent energy, and the wrath of the group that got approached. Let's go deeper into the family member, because their role proves crucial here. Watching you has been happening for a long time. Watching your transformation, watching your healing, watching your growth. Every step you took forward felt like a personal insult. Why? Because being stuck is their reality. Growing isn't happening, healing isn't occurring, evolving isn't taking place. Being trapped in the same patterns continues, the same wounds remain, the same limitations persist. Seeing you break free made feelings of inferiority arise, made feelings of smallness emerge, made feelings of failure intensify. But instead of using that as motivation to do personal work, it turned into resentment, into jealousy, into hatred. Your fall became desired, not because you did anything to them, but because your rise reminded them of their stagnation. Then obsession developed with the person from your past. Their attention got wanted, their validation got craved, mattering to them became an all-consuming need, but no interest existed from them. Fixation on you continued, thinking about you continued, talking about you continued. This drove the family member to madness. So an elaborate plan got crafted, convincing would happen to attack you spiritually. Bad advice disguised as wisdom would get given. Sabotage of the working from the inside would occur. Failure would happen for this person from your past, your downfall would occur, and in the chaos, maybe swooping in could happen, being the hero could occur, being the one who mattered could finally happen, but backfire occurred. Catastrophically, the family member bound themselves through the spiritual work performed, cords got created that can't be severed, fate got tied to someone now under attack from multiple directions, cleverness was assumed, instead self-trapping occurred. Now both unravel, both face consequences, both deal with energies beyond control. The family member experiences panic too, terror too, because something approaching can be felt, something that can't be named, something that can't be escaped. Attempts to destroy you to elevate themselves occurred. Instead, self-destruction happened, and you didn't have to do anything. You just kept living, kept healing, kept growing. That was enough to detonate the entire plan. These two people now sit bound to each other, energetically, spiritually, karmically. Separation can't happen. Escape from each other can't occur. Being stuck in a loop is the reality. This person from your past doesn't want the family member, never did, never will, but now tethering exists. The family member wanted attention from this person. Now that attention exists, but not in the way imagined. Both sit trapped in each other's nightmare. Both drown in the same chaos. Both face the same consequences. The family member holds obsession with this person from your past. This person from your past holds obsession with you. You're not thinking about either of them. You're living your life, thriving, glowing, ascending. The energy once desired to be stolen radiates brighter than ever. Both can feel it, both can see it, both know possession will never happen. This is the double bind. Possession of you can't happen for this person from your past. Possession of this person from your past can't happen for the family member. Both sit stuck with each other. Both serve as mirrors reflecting each other's failures. Both exist as reminders of what got tried and how badly it backfired. Being each other's punishment is the reality. Being each other's karma. Being each other's prison. No escape exists. Binding you was the attempt. Instead, self-binding occurred to each other, to the consequences, to the energy beyond control. Experience happens now of what occurs when manipulation attempts target someone walking in their power, when trapping attempts target someone already free, when dimming attempts target someone who learned to shine from within. Understanding the full scope of what you just dismantled matters. This wasn't amateur work. This wasn't someone lighting a candle and speaking your name. This was systematic. This was layered. This was designed to hit you from multiple angles simultaneously. The plan had phases. First came reconnaissance. Watching you has been happening longer than you realize. Monitoring your patterns occurred. Noting when vulnerability appeared, happened. Tracking your emotional cycles took place. Knowledge existed about when you posted online. Knowledge existed about when you dealt with challenges. Building a profile of weak points was the goal, or so belief existed. The family member fed information, details about your life, your relationships, your struggles, your dreams, everything shared in confidence. Thinking conversation happened with someone who cared, got weaponized. Getting passed along to someone who wanted to use it against you occurred. That's the level of betrayal existing here. Second came isolation. Attempts occurred to create distance between you and your support system. Planting seeds of doubt happened. Creating misunderstandings took place. Causing friction in your relationships was the goal. Making you feel alone was desired. Because isolated prey gets taken down easier. But what didn't get accounted for is this. You've built an internal support system that can't be shaken by external manipulation. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is, you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired, while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your destiny engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Third came dream infiltration. Attempts occurred to access your subconscious, planting suggestions while your conscious mind slept was the plan. Making you dream about them was desired. Making you remember old times was intended. Making you question your decision to walk away was hoped for. Slipping past your waking defenses and reprogramming you from within was the goal. But your spiritual hygiene stands too strong. Your protection extends into the dream realm. Getting through couldn't happen. Fourth came emotional manipulation. Attempts occurred to trigger your empathy, your compassion, your natural inclination to help people. Coming to you with a crisis was planned. A situation that would pull at your heartstrings was being prepared. Making you feel obligated to respond was desired. To help, to let them back in. Banking on your good heart, being their entry point, was the strategy. What got forgotten is this: good-hearted doesn't mean naive anymore. Fifth came the binding. Once access existed, once destabilization and vulnerability and isolation occurred, locking it in would happen. Creating cords to keep you tethered was planned. Making it impossible for you to fully break free was desired. You as a permanent energy source was wanted. A battery to drain whenever a boost got needed was the vision. This was the end game. This was what everything else built toward. But none of it worked, not a single phase, because you're operating at a level where these tactics are obsolete. You're like someone who evolved past the weapons being used against you. Swords got brought to a different kind of fight. Darkness got brought to someone who became pure light. The person from your past lost their chance at joining that organization. That door stands sealed now. The test got failed. Proof occurred of incompetence, of weakness, of unreliability. In circles like that, failure isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. Letting people walk away with knowledge of operations doesn't happen. Risking loose ends doesn't occur. Being a liability is now the reality, and liabilities get handled. The family member lost whatever twisted fantasy got built up. Chess playing was assumed. Moving pieces around the board was believed. Being the mastermind behind everything was envisioned. Being the puppet master pulling strings was imagined. Instead, self-exposure occurred. True nature got shown. Bridges got burned that can never be rebuilt. People in your circle now know what exists there, what capability exists there. Trust, once broken like that, doesn't come back. But here's what really got lost. The privilege of being in your energy field got revoked. Think about what that actually means. You're someone who radiates healing. When people exist around you, feeling better happens, feeling lighter occurs, feeling more hopeful emerges. You have a presence that elevates spaces, that transforms environments, that makes people want to be better versions of themselves. Access to that existed. Being in your orbit occurred, benefiting from your light without even realizing how much it sustained them happened. Now that access stands revoked, permanently. Being out in the cold is the reality. Feeling the absence of that warmth, that light, that energy that kept them afloat in ways never acknowledged. It's like someone who lived near the ocean their whole life and never appreciated the sound of the waves until moving inland happened and sleep became impossible because the silence became too loud. This person from your past experiences that kind of loss right now. The absence of something taken for granted, something irreplaceable, something that can't be gotten anywhere else. Scrambling happens now, trying to find substitutes, trying to fill that void with other people, other experiences, other sources of light, but nothing works. Because what you have is authentic, it's real, it's earned through your journey and your work and your transformation. Everything else is just artificial lighting compared to the sun. Your refusal to be controlled, your ability to remain untouchable, creates ripples. Effects extend far beyond just you and the people who attacked you. Other people watch, other people take notes, other people get ideas. Someone else in that organization has been having doubts, questioning whether this path is really what gets wanted, feeling trapped but not thinking escape was possible. Hearing happened about what occurred with you, how binding attempts failed, how you remained free, how you stayed in your power. Now thinking occurs. If that person can do it, maybe possibility exists for me too. That's the real reason you're such a threat. Not because of anything you're actively doing to anyone, but because your existence, your freedom, your light gives other people hope. Showing happens that another way is possible, that healing is real, that breaking free from manipulation and control and toxic systems can occur. You're dangerous because you're proof. Someone in your life has been inspired by your transformation too. Someone who watched you heal, watched you grow, watched you set boundaries and honor yourself and choose peace over chaos. Nothing got said, but attention got paid. Your example gives courage to do personal work, to face personal shadows, to choose personal healing. This is the exponential effect of walking in your truth. You think you're just living your life, but you're actually changing lives, shifting paradigms, breaking generational curses, creating new possibilities. Every time you choose yourself, permission gets given to someone else to choose themselves. Every time you honor your boundaries, showing happens to someone else that boundaries are possible. Every time you shine your light, reminder happens to someone else that light exists within them too. The people who attacked you wanted to prevent this. Stopping your influence was desired. Stopping your impact was intended. Stopping your light from reaching others was the goal. Because as long as you remained bound, as long as you stayed controlled, as long as you appeared dimmed, the people watching you would think freedom wasn't possible. Thinking would occur that healing was a myth. Thinking would happen that staying small kept you safe. But you didn't stay small. You didn't dim your light. You didn't allow yourself to be controlled. Now people wake up. Now people question. Now people consider that maybe accepting manipulation as normal doesn't have to happen. Maybe tolerating toxicity doesn't have to occur. Maybe choosing differently is possible. This is why an entire universe exploded, because it wasn't just about controlling you. It was about controlling everyone you influence, everyone who looks to you as an example, everyone who finds hope in your journey. You were the first domino. If knocking you down could happen, the others would fall too. But you didn't fall. You stood firm. Now the dominoes fall in the opposite direction, away from control, toward freedom. You exploded someone's entire universe without throwing a single punch. You derailed a demonic plan without even knowing the full details of what got tried. You won a war you didn't even realize you were fighting. That's the level you're operating at now. That's the frequency you've achieved. That's the power you embody. The plan that got built was intricate, multi-layered, designed to break you from every angle. Study of you occurred. Planning for you happened. Preparation specifically for you took place. All of it shattered against the fortress of who you've become. Not because you knew the plan and countered it, but because you've grown beyond the reach of plans like that. Evolution occurred past the level where those tactics work. Think about what that means. Best shot got given to you. Everything available got used. People who supposedly knew what to do got employed. Instructions from those with experience in spiritual warfare got followed. Rituals got done. Workings occurred. Energy got sent. Infiltrating your dreams got attempted. Manipulating your emotions got tried. Isolating you from support got worked on. Binding you permanently was the goal. Every phase of the demonic blueprint got executed, and every phase failed, not because you did something to stop it, but because of who you've become, the healing you've done, the work you've committed to, the boundaries you've established, the self-love you've cultivated, the connection to Source you've strengthened. All of that created a version of you that the plan couldn't touch, a version of you operating at a frequency where attacks like that simply dissolve before reaching you. This isn't the end, this is the beginning, because you just proved to yourself what you're capable of. You demonstrated your own power, you tested your protection under fire, and watched it hold. You showed yourself that standing strong against forces that would destroy most people is possible. Now you know what you're made of. You know what you can withstand. You know who you've become. The season approaching is unlike anything you've experienced before. You're stepping into a level of manifestation where your thoughts create quickly, where your words carry weight, where your intentions shape reality. This is what happens when clearing your field so completely occurs that no resistance exists between what you desire and what you receive. You've done the work to become a clear channel. Now everything flows through you with ease. When that person from your past reaches out, and reaching out will happen, you'll know exactly what to do, not because I told you, not because someone else advised you, but because you'll feel it in your bones, in your gut, in your heart, in that unshakable knowing developed through your journey. You'll know whether responding or deleting needs to happen, whether giving another chance or closing that door with finality is right. Trust yourself, trust your discernment, trust what you've built inside yourself. Remember what got wanted. Wearing your energy like perfume was desired. Stealing your light was intended. Harvesting your power was planned. Using you as a shield for darkness was the goal. Draining you to fill themselves was hoped for. Keeping you small so feeling big could happen was necessary. None of it could be done. Because you can't steal what someone has become. You can only take what someone has. Everything you are now, you became through your own work, your own healing, your own choices. That can't be taken, that can't be stolen, that can't be replicated by anyone who hasn't done the work. You're not just protected, chosen one. You're untouchable. Not because walls got built around your heart, not because closing yourself off from the world happened, but because you raised your frequency so high that lower energies dissolve before reaching you. You're like the sun. Darkness can't touch the sun. It doesn't matter how much darkness surrounds it. The sun keeps shining. That's you now. That's what you've become. You're not just safe. You're sovereign. Standing in your own power, walking your own path, living your own truth, answering to your own soul, making decisions from your own center, creating from your own vision. Nothing and no one can take that from you. This is what freedom actually looks like, not the absence of challenges, but the presence of unshakable peace, regardless of what happens around you. This is your time, your season, your moment. Everything you survived, everything you overcame, everything you learned, it was all preparing you for this, for the visibility coming, for the influence expanding, for the impact you're about to make, for the legacy you're building. You're not just healing yourself anymore, you're healing generations, breaking cycles, creating new paradigms, showing others what's possible. The panic someone else feels right now is consequence, karma, lesson. You don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to rescue anyone. You don't need to dim your light to make someone comfortable in darkness. Choices got made, actions got taken, warnings got ignored, proceeding with plans known to be wrong occurred. Now natural consequences get experienced. That's not cruelty, that's justice, that's balance. That's the universe maintaining order. That's cause and effect playing out exactly as it should. Walk forward in your power, shine your light unapologetically, live your truth courageously, love with your whole heart, without fear of manipulation, because you now know manipulation can't stick to you. Trust your instincts without second-guessing yourself, because you've proven your instincts are accurate. Know your worth without needing external validation, because you've seen what happens when you honor yourself. You've earned this through every tear, every struggle, every dark night, every moment healing got chosen over bitterness, every time growth got chosen over stagnation, every time love got chosen over fear, every time you got chosen. You just exploded someone's entire universe by being authentically, powerfully, beautifully yourself. That's the most revolutionary thing you can do in a world full of pretense. That's the most radical act in a society built on manipulation. That's the most powerful magic that exists, being so completely yourself that nothing false can survive in your presence, being so aligned with truth that lies dissolve around you, being so full of light that darkness has nowhere to hide when you enter the room. You didn't just survive a demonic plan, you completely transcended it. You didn't just defend yourself, you demonstrated a level of mastery that most people spend lifetimes trying to reach. You didn't just win a battle, you ended a war by refusing to fight on anyone else's terms, by operating at a frequency where weapons are obsolete, by becoming someone beyond touch, beyond control, beyond manipulation, beyond dimming. The best part, this is just the beginning. Everything you've been through was training for what's next. Every challenge was strengthening you for the weight of blessings coming. Every dark night was transforming you into someone who can hold massive amounts of light without burning out. You're ready now. Ready for the abundance, ready for the recognition, ready for the influence, ready for the impact, ready for everything you've been calling in while doing the work nobody saw. Welcome to your new chapter, Chosen One. The one where surviving stops and thriving starts. The one where defending stops and creating begins. The one where proving yourself stops and being yourself unfolds. The one where everything you've been working toward finally comes together in ways exceeding what you allowed yourself to imagine. It's going to be magnificent, because you are magnificent. Now the whole world is about to see what you've always known deep down. You're untouchable, you're unstoppable, you're exactly who you were always meant to be.